Hi, and welcome back to Eurocosmo. The debate on whether US soldiers should follow orders, even if they are illegal, when they're coming from their commanders or even the commander in chief, is also personal for me because I grew up with US military families on my street who were based nearby, here in Bavaria, in the former US zone of Germany after World War II. And we always considered them friends, friendly people, relatable, and we also admired them for their cool and their swagger. And all of this was essentially only possible because, they had acted this way towards us here in Germany and helped us provide security for Europe. I remember that in around 1987, we were hiking with my father on a mountain in the Bavarian Forest National Park area just at the Czechoslovak border. And my father, who's from Croatia, from a socialist country, Yugoslavia back then, told me, over there is the Iron Curtain and behind it are the Russians, the Soviets. And what's keeping them from coming here and taking away our freedom isn't necessarily the Bundeswehr, the German armed forces. It's the Americans. That's whom they fear. So I grew up basically my entire life under the American security umbrella, assisted, of course, also by German and other NATO forces. But this was a great way to, basically defeat our adversaries in the Cold War and feel safe up until very recently, up until recent years. And hearing now that it seems to be very important to Donald Trump and his administration that soldiers would fulfill any order given by the president or commanders under control of this president and his secretary of war is very worrying to me because, before, when there were scandals about behavior of US military members in Afghanistan and Iraq and so on, I always considered it an exception to the rule. And I didn't believe that it was a systemic issue that came from the top or that was pervasive in US military culture. So, the basic respect, admiration, and feeling of friendship towards members of the US military, and also the gratefulness, the gratitude towards them for their service providing security for us here in Germany, in Europe, and also internationally, globally, never went away. But I'm afraid, I fear that if the US military were to follow illegal orders and break international law instead of upholding it, break the Constitution instead of upholding it, then this would change dramatically, and that would change the reputation that the U.S. military has built for over 100 years, fundamentally. And I really hope that my belief in the basic honor and decency of U.S. military members will prove to be true and will stand any test that the military is put before. So this is a very serious issue, especially also when we're considering the Posse Comitatus Act and the basic idea of the founders, of the founding fathers, not to use the military within the country except the most grave situations where the country is threatened. For example, to use it against political adversaries or any groups that are arbitrarily defined as the enemies within. This would fundamentally change not just the military and their reputation abroad, but the entire country, and would be, easily could be the decisive step to, destroy not only American credibility, but also security, peace, democracy, and the rule of law. And I very much hope this will be avoided. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.